In the heart of Egypt, where the sands of the desert intertwined with the currents of the Nile, stood the majestic palace of Cleopatra, the last queen of a dynasty that had defied time. However, in those days of splendor, a dark secret threatened his kingdom. One night, Cleopatra was visited by a mysterious wise man who had traveled from distant lands. With an enigmatic air, he handed him a golden scarab, an object of great power and symbolism. This scarab, he said, can change the destiny of Egypt, but it can also lead to its ruin. Beware of those who seek his power. Intrigued, but cautious, Cleopatra decided to investigate. With the help of his loyal advisor, Apollonio, he began to decipher the meaning of the scarab. They discovered that it was a key that led to an ancient hidden chamber where the spirit of a forgotten pharaoh was said to rest, along with unimaginable treasure. But they were not the only ones interested. From the shadows, an ambitious Roman general, Mark Antony, had heard rumors about the scarab. Desiring to gain power over Egypt, he planned to seduce Cleopatra and snatch the secret from her. That same night, Cleopatra received Mark Antony at a banquet. The atmosphere was tense. She, cunningly, tried to discover his intentions. As they shared wine and praise, he hinted at his desire to unify their kingdoms. But she knew she couldn't trust him completely. The queen decided to act. With a plan in mind, he revealed the scarab to Mark Antony, making him believe that he needed it to access the treasure. Only together can we reveal its power, he told her, his eyes shining with determination. He, seduced by the idea of treasure, agreed to join her. They both headed into the night, guided by the scarab. Upon reaching the hidden chamber, the walls were decorated with reliefs that told the story of a pharaoh who had dominated the world. In the center, a stone sarcophagus waited, covered in dust and cobwebs. Cleopatra and Mark Antony opened the sarcophagus. However, as he did so, a dark wind swept through the room and a spectral figure emerged. It was the pharaoh, who had been trapped for centuries. "Who are those who dare to disturb my sleep?" His voice resounded. Ingeniously, Cleopatra stepped forward. "We come in search of wisdom, O Pharaoh. We wish to learn from you and use your legacy to strengthen Egypt." The pharaoh, intrigued by the queen's bravery, proposed a challenge. "Only he who is worthy can claim the power you seek." Then he conjured 3 tests that would determine his fate. The first test was one of ingenuity. They both had to solve an ancient riddle. Cleopatra, remembering her studies in the libraries of Alexandria, solved it in an instant. Mark Antony, although astute, could not match his intelligence. The second test was one of bravery. They had to face a magical snake that guarded a portal to the pharaoh's knowledge. While Mark Antony hesitated, Cleopatra took the initiative, facing the serpent with skill and courage. Despite her fears, the queen prevailed. The third and final test was loyalty. Pharaoh asked them to sacrifice something of great value. Mark Antony, blinded by ambition, refused to give up his sword, a symbol of his power. Cleopatra, on the other hand, offered the scarab, understanding that true power lies in wisdom and love for her people. Impressed, the pharaoh granted Cleopatra the power of the scarab, recognizing her courage and sacrifice. However, he warned, with great power comes great responsibility. Use this gift wisely. Upon returning to the palace, Cleopatra realized that Egypt's true wealth lay not in material treasures, but in the love and loyalty of its people. Mark Antony, on the other hand, realized that his ambition had clouded his judgment. Although they were attracted to each other, their paths were destined to diverge. The golden scarab, now a symbol of his victory, shone on his neck, reminding him of his true mission, to protect Egypt from the shadows lurking on the horizon. Cleopatra's story continued, but that night, deep in the land of the pharaohs, she had learned that true power lies in the heart. Thus, with a new purpose, Cleopatra prepared to face the challenges that would come, ready to leave her mark on history, and with the certainty that her legacy would be remembered for generations.